John, Baberuthless, it is Women's History Month, and as of the time of us putting out this poll, it was Women's Day. So there's just a lot of celebration of women going on. And it was like, you know what? Let's extend that to the polls and have our top 10 female characters in gaming. And honestly, Kaylin, I couldn't be more appropriate to bring you on here because I feel like you bring a nice breadth of knowledge to a lot of the female characters, thinking about them in ways that John and I perhaps wouldn't. Not saying in any weird way, anything like that, but just you have a perspective that we naturally don't. So I wanted to get your opinions on the characters that did make the top 10 according to our audience, as well as, rather than you guys trying to guess, offering up your own favorites from throughout the industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been having a 5-year-old daughter has changed a lot about how you view female characters. Not that I ever viewed them weirdly, but she gravitates a lot to playable women. And so Echoes of Wisdom really clicked with her. Like when she saw that trailer, she really she said Zelda looks like me, which is just like a little blonde-haired girl. And Princess Peach is like her favorite character ever. She dresses up as Peach all the time. When she does a karate kick, she calls it a Princess Peach kick because she does that once in the movie. So it's important to have all this stuff and prominent female characters. It should be a very natural thing.
Yeah, for sure. What you said about representation, so to speak, really resonates with me because I feel like growing up as a kid, a lot of the characters in my own personal top 10 list, I'm very Capcom biased, so I feel like just from the start, maybe it's a little bit different than the people that were on the audience pick list.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the characters that I picked were all fall, I don't want to say in a similar range, but I feel like they're all just really strong female characters where when you're playing video games back in the day, you saw a female character that you were playing. And then instantly I'd be like, oh my God, that's so cool. They're a female character, but they're also a badass and they're able to do all this stuff to progress the narrative or they have really cool gameplay in different ways. So I feel like when I was going through this list of trying to decide who to pick or who to not, a lot of those early kind of childhood characters really clicked in. So, I mean, John, to your point just about your daughter, I feel like very similar experience for me as well.
Mm-hmm. I always found myself just looking back, I always found myself gravitating more towards female characters. Like a fighting game, I tended to pick the female characters because I like the style of fast and quick hitting. That just naturally went into my style. And even in RPGs, they tended to be some of the more interesting characters a lot of the times as I was getting into those types of games. And even if I have a choice, as long as there's no romance options, I tend to go with you have a choice of male or female character. I'm going to go with the female character just because it seems more unique and interesting in playing through it. And I'm noticing from my son, I don't have the same perspective as you, John, in this case, but he does sort of gravitate the same way. He loves Peach and Rosalina and Daisy. He gets excited to see them. I have no real major interest in picking up the Mario Wonder DLC, but I'm afraid as soon as he sees that Rosalina is playable, he's going to want to get that $20 DLC. I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah. To your point about playing as women as an option, I do that a lot as well. In Dragon Quest Builders 2, I chose the woman. In a lot of Pokemon games, I choose the female option because
they tend to have better designs.
A lot of the time, men are just dweebs, aren't they? In Scarlet and Violet, that little boy's a total dweeb. Whereas the women options just obviously better designed.
Yeah, it's really what it comes down to, and there's something special about getting that character that really stands out. And they don't have to be badass either. I think that's another thing is that they have their own little goofiness to them or quirks that I think helps them stand out, that everybody can point to and doesn't need to be the end all be all she's just like one of the guys. No, you can keep it very feminine coded and still make it extremely appealing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I will say a lot of the women on my list are kind of fall into that badass archetype.
It's video games, so most characters are kind of badass unless you get to the adventure gaming type stuff where they're leaves a little bit more room to be a little goofy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you're shooting down a bunch of aliens or zombies, it's like there's only. I mean, there is room if they really wanted to, but like I feel like there's only so much room to be like, yes, like here's these other parts of my personality. Whereas, like if you're trying to survive a zombie apocalypse, it's a little hard to tease that out necessarily.
Yeah.
It's interesting how some genres were very like male character coded. Fighting games obviously got a big breadth of characters. And same for I think a lot of genres are like that. But then you've got platformers, which back in the 90s and 80s, it was very uncommon that you had like a woman starring. Like you'd get Sonic games with female characters, but it'd always be Sonic on the box. Sonic is the main character. Like the Gianna sisters were like a one kind of side thing that no one else really did. But in today's indie climate, like with A Hat in Time, with Demon Turf, it's actually become really common to suddenly have them as the focus. And it's interesting how that's come around, usually in quite a stylish way as well.
Yeah. Trying to think, I was actually trying to think of female platformers as you were saying that, John. And
It can't be done.
first one I could think of was Kazooie, who you only kind of technically play as, but
Yeah,
I do like that she is the snark of the group.
Yeah.
Like there is that extra aspect to it where she gets to be, well, really the funny one, because Banjo's just the straight man he's just there to gaha, honestly.
We've got 2 Shantae mentions in the chat, and that's true. Shantae in like the year 2000. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's also trends a little bit more towards Metroidvania, and you do get a few more female characters in Metroidvanias. But I mean, it's a big deal that with it's something that's been fought for to make her canon for a long time, and it seems to be the case with the Belmont's Curse, that we're finally getting Sonia Belmont as a actual thing. So
yeah, super cool. When you said like female platformer, the one that immediately just comes to mind for me, because I played it recently, is Celeste actually. And I was thinking like, oh man, I bet Celeste, or sorry, Madeline, not Celeste, that's Madeline, but like I think Madeline's probably on this list, like if I had to guess. But yeah, no, that's another example of like, it's so hard. Like I played through the first 2 levels like legitimately, and after I died like 50 times on each level, I was like, all right, time to turn on the cheats. And like it's funny because I was looking at the platinum list for that game, and it's something like 25% of people got a platinum for that game. I was like, oh, everyone just went ahead and turned all the cheats on. I wasn't the only one. So.
Yeah, I and just bringing up Madeline does bring up a good point. That and it's something I'm putting out in the poll itself. Trans women are women, so they count for this poll. They are in here. There's not a ton of examples out there, but if they are, they count. So that's all there is.
Appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. So that's really all it comes down to. With that being said, though, shall we get to it? I am very happy to say that we had 1,146 votes for this one, leaving a lot of characters for me to sift through. I got through maybe 75 of them, and there's still so many more because of just various ways of spellings and whatnot. So I will be providing the full list so you can just see all the examples, see who everybody picked in the description for the video itself, so you can look through. But rather than have you guys guess, let's widen the pool of the female characters are out there. So rather than guess who made the top 10, I want to hear your top 10 female characters before we reveal the each of our audience's pick. So John, let's start with you. What's your first female character?
All right. So I've got a list of a little more than 10. I've not numbered them. I'm just going to pull whatever my heart goes to first. And the first one I've got is Karlach from Baldur's Gate 3.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Very strong one. Very cool character. And you've got the entire main cast of Baldur's Gate is fantastic. But Karlach is like strong, but also emotionally grounded in like a cool way. Like there's lots of really great, more somber moments to that character, while also coming across as almost like a brute, but just balanced incredibly well.
Go ahead, Kaylin, because I've actually not played Baldur's Gate 3
Oh,
yet,
okay.
so I don't have a lot of experience with Karlach or any
So I've
experience.
played a little bit of Baldur's Gate actually. Just like I think like some of the opening acts and things like that. I have a lot of friends that are very into like the whole D&D sort of atmosphere, so they were highly recommending that I play that game. I actually don't think I ever really got around to meeting Karlach at that point, but I know that she was definitely a favorite for a lot of people playing. I met like Asterion. I met Gale, and I think after that I kind of like fell off the game. But I mean, just based on her design, like just really big, kind of built, like red. I'm assuming some sort of like demon or devil like character. She seemed really cool, and all the characters in that game I've heard are super well developed, and they all have really interesting storylines and story beats that they travel through. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely a very like more recent take, but I love seeing that she's on there because I think she's probably a really great character.
Yeah, there's lots of great characters in that cast, and Alpha Lion Live Audience is naming a bunch of them, like Shadowheart and Lae'zel. In the year that game came out, like, the Game Awards, performance-wise, was like almost dominated by Baldur's Gate actors, and it's hard to say it shouldn't be with how good everybody was in that game.
And with Demon Woman, it's not exactly traditionally beautiful either, so it has a nice variety there. Seeing some of them where she some screenshots where she has like a glowing bit of her chest in the center, that's reminds me of Diablo, honestly.
Sure.
Which is certainly different. But yeah, that's a fun pick, John. What about you, Kaylin?
Well, okay. So first of all, again, I'll start with some. Oh my god, it's early for me. I'll start with some honorable mentions, just like really quickly. So I have like a defined list of top 10 that is pretty Capcom biased, in all honesty. But so 3 that I was like thinking about, but ultimately I didn't end up putting on my list were Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. I actually really like Final Fantasy 13, even though a lot of people are not the biggest fans of that game. Baiken from Guilty Gear. She's kind of this like samurai. She's like got an eye patch. I just think she has like a really cool design and really like fun kind of like badass energy. And then also the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh, sure.
So those are the 3 that didn't make my list. But for number 10, my pick is like really out there, and I was trying to think like I better put this as number 10 because it is a very weird pick. So mine is actually I don't know if you guys remember from Resident Evil 1 remake, Lisa Trevor, who's like the monster that's in the basement. And I know it's like a very weird pick because she's kind of like this monster girl, so to speak. But the reason I kind of put her on there is because I played the heck out of Resident Evil 1 when I was a kid. And so then when I actually went ahead and I played the remake on the GameCube, I saw that she was adding, and I was so fascinated by her background that instantly made the game like more morose and disturbing, and just added this level of depth to the game, to the story that I had never experienced before up until my point in that life. And yeah, I just think she's really kind of has this disturbing background. I think Resident Evil for a long time, they were moving more in sort of like that action-y direction until it maybe got to like RE7 about that time. But yeah, I thought she was like, I kept hoping that they would do the same thing with the more recent remakes where they'd like add in more characters or like they add an additional story or something like that to the newer remakes that came out recently. But no dice. So yeah,
it's more like they take things away in the new remakes, to be honest.
I mean, expand some roles like Mr. X, like he's definitely expanded from what the original was, but Lisa's sort of like the proto version of them. Like we're just like this horrifying experiment gone very, very wrong. And she does stand out, even though she doesn't show up a ton. She's so different from everything else in Resident Evil 1 that she's memorable in that way. And you don't get a lot of, outside of like main villains, you don't get a lot of female coded enemies in Resident Evil. I guess we didn't even get female zombies until Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. There's a few in 9, but that's it's not a whole lot. And it's a really interesting choice. You're sort of touching upon this earlier. Like in Resident Evil 1, there aren't that many characters. You get like
Mhm.
notes and some lore to read up on, but none of it's really practically used. Whereas this is one where they've really inserted another character into the game, and they're like on the there's the surface of it, and then there's the more detailed character behind it, which you can read up on and learn more about. And like she's more than just a horrific monster. There's some really
Mhm.
really sad storytelling in there. Um, and yeah, it's hard to argue she isn't one of the best women in Resident Evil.
Yeah. She even gets to have she's your boss fight as Wesker in Umbrella Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So she has 2 games under her belt. So
Yeah,
that's
true.
something. That's something. As for our number 10 female character, according to our audience, with 854 points, Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Not shocking at
There
all.
you go. Here's
Yeah.
my
I mean,
transition.
the first female fighting game character. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like with Chun-Li, funny enough, she was the next person on my list at number 9, so I feel like it kind of coincides with how I was feeling as well. But yeah, I mean, iconic, iconic fighting, the most iconic fighting game female character. She's kind of like a pseudo mascot for Capcom because she's got like the blue and the yellow with her default outfit. She's probably like, if I had to bet money in the next Smash Bros, she's probably going to be a character in that. But yeah, I have my own little like Chun-Li shrine upstairs where I have like a bunch of different figures of her because she's just such a cool and kind of well designed character.
Uh-huh. I think 20 years ago, this would have been an easy number 1 for a lot of people. And I think the choice has grown a bit in the last decade or two. That maybe she isn't quite as safe as a number 1 pick, but she's obviously iconic. Front of magazine covers a lot of the time. Just when you think Street Fighter, I think you think Ryu and Chun-Li.
yeah, she's always one of the first to be revealed. If she's not in that game, you've messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I appreciated how in Street Fighter 6 they kind of like, okay, not like super aged her up, but like they allowed her to become a little like not just like a young woman anymore. She's like slightly older now and she's like teaching her disciples or whatever in Chinatown. But I appreciated how in the newer games they've slightly progressed her story, so to speak, a little bit. So yeah, I think like her older iterations are really iconic. She has so many really cool outfits. And then even to this day with her newer iterations, right, in Street Fighter 6 or 5, they've just done an excellent job, I think, at keeping that original energy of the character and that design like moving forward. So
yeah, the Street Fighter 6 version of Chun-Li, you can't imagine her just taking off the buns and being like, I'm going to go be a young woman now, like a normal young woman.
That's right.
That stands out somewhat, but you honestly remember the quote, I am the strongest woman in the world. That's a statement. Then you remember that. It's like, oh okay. And she was the character I gravitated towards when I played Street Fighter 2 on Genesis, just because honestly, it came down to the fact that I liked that I could easily do her high kicks because I couldn't do any of the moves. I could not do any of the supers. And I liked that she could bounce on the heads and jump off walls. So I was like, okay, I can actually get around the stage a little bit and maybe do okay. Still was terrible, but
she is a really good
out.
beginning character, though, isn't she? Because like you have like Ryu and Ken, who are like very typical fighters, but then Chun-Li's got that range on her because of her attacks and kicks, like the strong attacks and kicks at least. Which just gives you like a much longer range than a punch. So if you're starting off, like Ryu and Chun-Li really are the ones to go for. And not that many like combinations of the moves either. It's like more like time-based. So just like really easy to gravitate to.
Yeah, I feel like to what you guys were talking about a little bit earlier, just about like female characters maybe occupying a more interesting sort of role within different games. Like, yeah, Chun-Li was that character where like you could jump around a lot. She was very mobile. She, if you can't do like some of the inputs, which in the harder games, they were notoriously a lot more difficult to pull off. Like, yeah, if you could just get off her kicks or some of her normals, you could definitely hold your own. Like, I know that was my experience when I was playing the new challengers on the SNES, just like playing against my brother and just like picking Chun-Li because I mean I liked her a lot, but also she as like a 5-year-old, that was the most I could probably do at that time. So yeah.
All makes sense. And speaking of the outfits, I think she helped fund Capcom alone in Street Fighter V. So
for sure, like I feel like her and Morgan are just like they sell the figures like crazy.
that being said, they really do need to bring her alpha look to Street Fighter 6.
Oh, it's so like that's such a good outfit.
Yeah. But yeah, Chun-Li at number 10. So, John, what's your next top female character?
I'll go with another Capcom pick. I'm going to go with another Resident Evil one, Jill Valentine, who I want to put a lot higher than this, but really she hasn't had that many games in the entire span of the series. It's Resident Evil 1, 3, and like a little bit of 5. There's not a whole lot to pick from. Oh, and Revelations.
Yes.
Revelations, yeah.
Yeah.
First one.
But she's fantastic in all of them. This is a thing that with every character in the series, not much consistency, like very different look between 1 and like Revelations and 5. But she is very, very strong, very likable, and like I wish she'd have another game. I wish there'd be another Jill starring game. Maybe next time.
I want that. I want Claire back as well, but
Claire's another robbed one.
Yeah,
Claire needs a lot more.
Leon gets all this love, but where's Claire?
Yeah.
Come on.
They're in the movies. They're in the CG movies a little bit.
Oh gosh. Yeah. For Jill, I had her as my number 5 actually. So I had her a little bit higher on the list. I feel like by the time we get to my number 1, we're gonna sped through all of these. But I think the reason why I really liked Jill is a couple of reasons. So for one thing, I feel like how I feel about Jill is maybe similar to how a lot of people feel about Samus on like the Nintendo sphere, where she's just like this very kind of badass character. And to me, she's kind of like the face of Resident Evil over any other character. And I played a ton of Resident Evil 1 growing up. And what I really liked about, like, I guess what stands out to me about her from that game is that, like, you can play as like either Jill or you can play as Chris, right? And Chris is kind of like the hard mode because the only thing he comes equipped with is his combat knife, right? Whereas Jill, she has like a gun, but she knows how to play the piano, so she can shortcut that puzzle. Like she has a gun on her. She can I think I already said this, but she can like lockpick, right?
Yeah, she's the master of unlocking.
Exactly. So she just has all of these.
She got the memes.
Right?
That's the thing.
Chris doesn't have the memes. Chris he has memes late when he punches a boulder, but
that's how long it took.
No way.
Unfortunately, Chris gets to punch a boulder and they turn Jill into a blonde. I do not like the interpretation of Jill in Resident Evil 5.
But Resident Evil 3, like for all my problems with that game, Jill's depiction is not a problem at all. That's like her best appearance ever. The design's fantastic.
As impractical as that design is, it is iconic. You know her fits.
Yeah, there's a great moment at the ending too, where she just has a giant ray gun. Like it's very very good ending to Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And has been pointed out, made it into Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, she gave her a sprite, which is pretty crazy. Yeah,
her moves in that game are really interesting because she can like summon zombies and like she can like throw different things at you. I feel like Capcom clearly felt some sort of way about her because they picked her to be the rep, right?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I was about to ask you for your 9, but you already said your 9. Chun-Li, so
already covered.
I guess we can continue on to this audience's number 9 with 915 points. Good, about 60 over Chun-Li. Aerith from Final Fantasy VII.
There's a pretty strong chance this isn't the only Final Fantasy VII character on this list, if I had to guess.
It's possible. There's definitely a lot of popular characters from this game. I was about to say this game, but no, it is these games because she's had multiple under her belt, and she's had appearances in Kingdom Hearts and whatnot. Though I would argue that her best appearances are the original, Crisis Core to some degree, and definitely Remake and Rebirth because, well, they kept her character. They didn't make her this wilting flower that she seemed to become in every other interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the 7 remake for sure like really expanded upon the characterization of a lot of these characters. I I like Aerith a lot. Actually, everyone always argues over like who Cloud should be with whatever. My pick is definitely Aerith for Cloud, just
Oh.
because I feel like they have a more interesting dynamic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to maybe Tifa, where I like her a lot, but she's like that kind of like supported childhood friend. But with Aerith, I feel like she's kind of like testing or prodding at Cloud a little bit to see his reaction. So I always like that dynamic maybe a little bit more. And to me, I feel like with Aerith, like well, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I feel like at this point, if you haven't gotten to that
Yeah, everyone's
yet, like everyone knows at this point.
I mean, she's part of the most like one of the most iconic video game moments of all time.
Right. And I just feel like this is my personal opinion, but like if you substituted Tifa into that same scene where she's like killed by Sephiroth, like it wouldn't hit the same.
It wouldn't mean
Right.
much. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because like Aerith, she's the background, etc., and all that stuff. So yeah, I like Aerith a lot. I like Aerith a lot. She's not on my number 10 list, but I like her a lot.
I think to that point, like Aerith, she's a lot more spiritual. She's a lot more like Tifa's quite a hardened character. Aerith has that quality too in a degree, but not so much. So that death definitely hits really hard. And I think if you put any other character in that place, you wouldn't get the same feeling at all. Because it's like you are losing something, like a life and soul of the party almost.
Yeah.
And like I think if you kill anybody else off, you wouldn't get that.
Not to the same degree. Not to the same degree.
Yeah.
There's definitely an innocence there that you lose and enjoy, and what she goes through. And there's some tough moments of, like, as you get closer and closer to that moment and to that happening. And I mean, I personally lean more towards Tifa and Cloud as far as the ship is concerned, mainly because Aerith is, I think, attracted to the aspects of Zack that Cloud is emulating. So that makes the relationship a little weird in my if they were actually to do something. So she prods him like a brother in my opinion, but I don't discount the ship at all. It's just that's where I kind of view it. But I still think, like, again, the way they sold Aerith as a character to me in Remake, and I've said this multiple times, is that little moment where they're climbing across the roof, and she's like, don't worry about me, and then all of a sudden, like, something falls away, and she's like, oh, shit. just that little moment. It was like, she's innocent, but there's a spark to her, and I think that's that spark is what really carries Aerith as a character.
Well, she grew up in like a slum environment, so she's going to have that sort of hardened exterior, even if she looks a little bit like dainty. It's a really great mix. And I do have a feeling that we are going to see Tifa pretty soon as well. But they both have very different qualities, and they're both great.
Yeah, I think the moment that really sold it for me in the remake was when Aerith goes like, she goes to Cloud, she's like, oh, don't go, something along the lines of like, don't go fall in love with me, and Cloud's like, don't I have a choice in this?
Yeah.
So that's when I was like 100% like Team Aerith, but it's just me personally.
I get it. I mean, they're them running around Wall Market is a lot of fun. So, and people definitely memed to the high end and back with that chair.
For sure.
But Aerith at number 9. All right, John, what is your... Actually, let's go with Kaylin first, since she kind of missed out on Chun-Li here with number 9. So, Kaylin, who's your number 8 female character?
Yeah, I feel like it's another character that is most likely on your guys' list. And this is a Nintendo pick, actually. Bayonetta.
Bayonetta?
Yeah. So, I guess like my main... I mean, she's another character who has like that bad bitch energy, so to speak. But I really like the fact that she's kind of like a cocky asshole in a way. Like in a way, her personality reminds me a little bit of Dante. And I feel like she just has like really good interactions with a lot of different characters where she's able to bounce really, really well off certain people. And she doesn't take herself too seriously. She's a character that is like very comfortable in her sexuality, which I feel like I don't see depicted in a lot of video games all too often. And she just has really good outfits every single game. She just like has some iconic look that I'm like, dang, that's cool.
Yeah. It's a really interesting character too, because like when Bayonetta came out, I remember a lot of headlines being like, "This is a sexist character," and I think they just completely missed what the actual power
empowerment of it is. Yeah,
yeah.
They were viewing it from the male gaze rather than the female empowerment.
Yeah, because she does like she loses her clothes when she does moves and things like that.
Right.
But I don't think anyone really looks at that and goes like, "That's inherently a sexy thing." It's just a using sexual dominance to give you power. Like I don't look at that and go, damn, that's hot. Like it's just kind of
I'm too busy going the gameplay to pay any attention to that. Like there's angels to kill.
Exactly.
For sure. I think there's definitely a difference. You're right, John. There's definitely a difference between like female sexuality for the male gaze, like characters that are very much built for that versus like what Bayonetta is, which I feel like she's very much she is sexy, but she's sexy because she likes being sexy. She wants to be sexy for herself, right? I will say like her outfit in the third game, it's very cute and pretty, and I love the dress. The pigtails, the braids, maybe a little bit less so, to be honest. And I know that's her childhood hairstyle when she was like Cereza and all that, but I feel like it kind of doesn't quite fit her energy. But
two's best in my opinion. As far
as two is the best outfit.
Yeah, two is best. But I do know people got upset about her not ending up with Jean in Bayonetta 3.
Well, I guess we can't talk about it too much, but the ending of Bayonetta 3 I didn't like very much either.
I haven't actually played through all of Bayonetta 3 yet, but I've heard people have thoughts.
Yeah.
John, what about your number 8?
My number 8. Okay. I'm going to go with a pretty new one. I'll go with Mael from Expedition 33.
Oh, and, it's a good one.
I like a lot of characters in this. Lune had a great scene, which is like my favorite scene in the game in terms of performance and characterization. But she doesn't get that many moments to shine outside of that scene, really. Some extra stuff. But Mael has just great character building. Like she's the youngest one in the group, so she's like one that you want to kind of look out for. But she just brings this power to her. And then as the story goes on, she's a very pivotal point of that game. So it's very multi-layered, but also
arguably the main character of the game.
Yeah, I'd say she is the main character for sure. Yeah, and just wonderful acting. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I like the Lune more personally. Just in terms of like her person, I feel like I'm like picking all the Asian women. But no, I like Lune. I like Lune very specifically. I mean, obviously her characterization throughout is excellent, but there's this one very specific scene and one ending of the game where she just like kind of gives you a look, and that has sat with me like throughout the rest of my time up to when I finished that game. But yeah, Mael is a great character. You're right in that she brings like this great sort of energy to the cast, and you see her being maybe a little bit more like, I guess like, I don't want to say naive, because it is a world that's very jaded, but you kind of see her character development as you go throughout, and it kind of simultaneously in the gameplay as well, you see her kind of go from being this like character that you haven't quite built out yet to, for me personally on my team, she was like my powerhouse. She was like my DPS.
Oh yeah, she is so easy to break.
Yeah, she's great, especially when you get into the virtuoso stance. She's just like, you just have her going ham. But yeah, I think Mael is a great pick. Her design is really great too. The voice actor for her did an excellent job too. What's her name? Jennifer English. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. As for the audience, beating out Aerith by about a little less than 50 points at number 8, Madeline from Celeste.
Okay. We were just talking about it.
Yeah. You mentioned her earlier, and I was like, I didn't write her down for some reason, but she absolutely is one of like the hardest hitting characters in the whole industry. Like there's dialogue, but there isn't much dialogue. It's mostly I think, a story and characterization told through the gameplay, which is really strong. And you just get that perseverance and that will to keep going through her, which is all just done very dynamically in such a special way. Yeah, she's clearly one of the best.
Oh, for sure. Like even like I was saying earlier, even just playing through her levels, it's like you yourself have to really struggle to beat those levels. And I feel like, yeah, it's essentially like a metaphor for her own mind and the struggles that she's dealing with, where you really, really have to like push through in order to get to other side. And then, obviously you have the arc where you hit rock bottom and then you have to climb back up and all that stuff. So
and there's that wonderful moment of elation when you do break through, and they just that ascension you go through is so uplifting. Like it is a lot of gameplay capturing emotional state in a lot of cases with Madeline, which I think is why so many people do connect with her, because you got those little story bits, but then you got the actual gameplay to back it up, and it just mixes into such a unique characterization that it's hard not to fall in love with it. fall in love with her.
It is a funny one to characterize, because the sprite itself doesn't have eyes. It's like a very undetailed sprite. You get a lot more in the character boxes, but for the most part, you're seeing a blank face, and it manages to still express so much, even without actually expressing it.
Absolutely. So I'm hard to argue that one against this one. So yeah, Madeline at number 8. All right, John, let's go back to you once again. What's your number 7 pick?
I'll go with the other character in Nier Automata. Can I name them? Is that a spoiler?
Oh, I think you can name the other character.
Yeah, A2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who,
I don't think that's much of a spoiler.
She's on the box art.
I guess she is on the box art now, isn't she? Yeah, she wasn't originally. Yeah, A2. I think 2B's great, but not a whole lot more to them. Like, they're quite surface level. A2's got a lot more going on, and a lot more grounded. And I think the design's just a lot better too. But there's a lot of just really fantastic moments with A2. And it took a story which I was pretty invested in, but then just skyrocketed it to another place, mostly from her just uplifting the interactions you've had with 2B before and making it a lot more of a payoff. She just felt like she really just took that story home.
Yeah.
I disagree a little bit on that. Well, also hitting all my beats early. I have 2B on this list as well. And I think the reason why A2 is a great pick too. No doubt about that. But I think the reason why I really liked 2B so much is, like, on the surface level, obviously you think she's this kind of like cold person who doesn't care much for her comrades, things like that. And then obviously as you kind of get a peek underneath the surface, you begin to see more of her personality really shine through. And obviously at the end I think she's just a very complex character that I think is also just like really badass and has like a really good design. But I see what you're saying about A2 a lot.
It's kind of funny that A2 is very similar to 2B in the fact that she appears one way when you first meet her, and then there's a depth there, which is a nice bit of just digging into what they're all about. I think they both stand out for that way. I don't know which one I prefer more. Prefer more, to be honest. I think I'm just going to stay in the middle of the line. They're both good. I don't think either one outshines the other for their own reasons. So
I prefer probably 2B just a little bit more. She's in Soul Calibur, and I think I just.
I mean, 2B's in everything. A2's not getting put in.
You're not saying
everything.
A2 in, I don't know, whatever.
Name this.
Isn't she in Rainbow Six Siege? I don't even play that
probably.
game.
I'm sure she is.
Oh gosh. Well, since 2B comes from later on, we'll just use that as yours, Kaylin. So we'll just continue on here to our audience's number 7 pick, beating out Madeline by 31 points. Bayonetta.
Oh.
They predict that one. So yeah, we kind of already talked about Bayonetta quite a bit here with all of that. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really say about her that we didn't already go into already. I think. What was your first thought when you first saw Bayonetta as a character, John? Like, where did you lean towards? Like, this is cool. Like, did it take a little bit to warm up to her? Because I'll be honest, it took me a while to warm up. When I first saw Bayonetta, I was like, something strange about her. But then you see more and more. It's like, no, something about this is working too. Like, it's very. I think it's the long limbs that just makes her stand out so much.
Sure, yeah. I can't quite remember my first impression. I remember my first time playing Bayonetta was the Xbox 360 demo, and it's such a different kind of game because it's following Devil May Cry, obviously, but we didn't really have character action games with women as the stars, especially in that 3D era. Like there was nothing like that was kind of filling that void. And she was just crazy powerful. Seeing like those her Umbran Witch abilities, just like summoning a giant hand or a giant foot out of nowhere, slamming something down. It felt a lot more powerful and tangible than a lot of what Dante was doing in Devil May Cry. So I think I just remember it being cool, to be honest.
To me, it was the glasses. The glasses and the little mole. I was like, oh, okay, that's different. That's different.
Yeah. I will have a hard time enjoying the look of her first game just because of all the Sarah Palin comparisons people made about her. It's like, no, let's not do that. But yeah, her performance, that confidence she exudes definitely just makes her stand out so much more in a unique way. So yeah,
Alpha Lion mentioned she popularized Witch Time, which is like in a lot of games now, like just dodging something and going in slow motion. That's in a lot of different things, like Breath of the Wild, for instance. It's in a lot of games.
Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, Bayonetta at number 7. Caitlin, let's go ahead and hear what your 6th pick is, or number 6 pick is for your top female characters.
I think 7th, right, or 6?
It'd be 6 at this point.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll skip forward.
We kind of skipped ahead and got to your wherever you put 2B. Where did you put 2B?
I put her at number 2.
Oh wow!
Dang.
Okay. You really like her.
Well, I feel like it's not like 100% directly related to the character, but like the Nier Automata soundtrack is just something I literally to this day listen to all the time.
Oh yeah.
I went to the concert twice in person.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of hard, and Weight of the World just being this beautiful, beautiful piece. It's hard for me to not put her really high up, but. Anyways, yeah, so she was my number 2. What I had really quickly then what I had for, if it's okay, what I had for my number 7 was BB Hood from Darkstalkers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's like the little Red Riding Hood type character, and she's like a Darkstalkers hunter, and so just for her, I just really liked her sprite, where she's like deceptively evil, right? And she's like pulling out like her gun or like her Glock or like just these different landmines. I just thought her sprite work is just really charming and really well done. But for number 6,
it's a great choice. Sorry, just to talk about that a little bit more. Like in a roster of like demons and ghouls, that you've just got this girl who is, like you're saying, it's just deceptively, like she looks cute, but she's still got that same energy as the rest of the cast. It's a really good choice.
For sure.
There's probably a reason she hasn't been brought to 3D yet. We've gotten Felicia, we've gotten Senko, we've gotten Morrigan. Bringing BB Hood, I think you might have to look at how you do a lot of her moves. It'd be a little hard in 3D to have her cry a puddle and then dunk the person into that puddle. That sort of stuff. But her like trickster moves, I feel like there's definitely a way to make her work in a more modern setting where you don't have to, if you're not able to go into the Looney Tunes aspects of Darkstalkers, because God, she really does stand out for only being in technically one Darkstalkers game.
No, for sure. I think, I agree. Maybe they'd have to work a little bit to figure out how to translate her to more of like a 3D model environment. But I have no doubt that they absolutely could do a really good job with her. But she's not a popular character in Darkstalkers. I mean, when you compare her to people like Lilith or even Hisenko, Felicia, all of them. But for me, I just think she has that extra sort of charm to her that makes me kind of like her more than some of the other Darkstalkers.
That's fair. Yeah. What about you,
Oh.
John? Oh, did you have? Was that one your main
Oh,
was?
no.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure that was in your
was
top 10 or not.
no. Sorry. She was my number 7.
Okay.
Yeah, but sorry.
I've lost track of where we are.
I don't even know where we are anymore either.
The next one I'll be showing from the audience is number 6.
Okay.
So we've been flopping all around. That's fine. It's all right. We're playing it loose and free here, so it's all right. John, what about your next one? I'm not even going to number them anymore. Just next one.
Okay, yeah.
We're just going to get 10 girls in here.
I will go with. I'll go with a Mario girl. I'm going to go with Rosalina. Who always just seemed like the cool mystical one, because you've got Peach and Daisy who are just kind of alternatives of each other, but then Rosalina's this galactic witch, and she was just very, very cool. Didn't get to do a whole lot in Galaxy other than like reset the universe, but like she was just like this,
just
this
that
guy. Yeah, it's like you finish a level and Rosalina's there. It's just kind of like this comfort to come back home to the observatory and see this just really awesome woman. And then she gets more of a spotlight in later games, like she's playable in 3D World, back again in Wonder, and now she's in a movie. But just that big hair sweeping over the ice style was so different to anything else like Peach had. So that she was just a really cool, like kind of like alternative of Peach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Mario Kart World, she has this really cool. All the characters there have like so many different outfits, but she's this really cool, like just celestial dress outfit that I'm like, wow, like I'm not even like the biggest fan of Rosalina necessarily. I like her design, but like I'll usually pick other characters over Rosalina. But every time I see that, I'm like, ooh, that's the skin I want to wear.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of with John where as soon as I saw that hairstyle, I was sold. Like, so something about the style of having your hair over one of the eyes is just like, I don't know. There's something always appealing about that for me. So that was just immediately really cool. And then just how, again, as John said, how different she feels to Peach in the more regal in a lot of ways. Yeah. More important. But then, of course, she has the story time.
Oh, the story time.
Which just fleshes out her character so much more than you ever got with Peach. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, with Rosalina, I will say, from a Smash Bros. Point of view, I actually don't like the way she plays at all, because I don't understand. Like, you keep sending out like Luna, and I don't really understand how that mechanic works personally. She's like a little bit too complicated for me, but I agree from like a character design point of view, she's just very like elegant, and she just has this class to her that makes her a really, really well designed character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right. Our number 6 female character, according to the audience, beat out Bayonetta by about 115 points. And that would be Peach, speaking of Mario characters.
Oh.
So Princess Peach at number 6.
Yeah, she's my daughter's favorite character. Like she puts the Mario movie on, just like focuses so hard on the Peach scenes. Like she's seen the movie so many times, so like she loses interest at certain points. But when Peach comes on screen, just hyper fixated. I've always liked Peach, and it's cool how in recent games she isn't someone you save anymore. Like she is just a core part of the cast, like from 3D World, Wonder, Peach Showtime now with like her own Spotlight game. And with the movie, I think they've changed it so Peach is now just someone who's along for the ride. That she's just a core character now, and it's really cool to have girls growing up with that.
Yeah.
For sure. I think where Peach really became a character for me personally was in Thousand Year Door, actually, because they have the little sections where you can play as Peach, and she's like, whatever, trying to escape the X-Naut base or whatever have you. Like, those scenes just really stuck out to me personally, because I'd played her before on like things like Double Dash and things like, I don't know, like Mario Party, stuff like that. But, to me, I was like, oh, she's like a cool girl character. So, I would usually pick her, but she didn't really start to develop for me as a character until that game in particular. And then after that, I was like, okay, I could definitely get like aboard the Peach train, so to speak.
It definitely took her a while because she was the goal you had at the end for so long. Like she stood out because of that, but she didn't really have much of a personality. But then just to go like as they kept evolving her, and honestly, I even enjoyed her in the Mario Brothers Super Show, where she got a little bit more time to shine in that. Everybody remembers her Milli Vanilli fit from that show. And then just going like to the modern stuff where, again, as John says, is allowed to do stuff. Kai played through Super Princess Peach, or Princess Peach Showtime, excuse me, and highly enjoyed that. Just loved doing all of it. Loved changing up what style her dress was in between. Had to collect them all because he's a bit of a completionist. And I think also having the chance to actually play as her in Super Mario RPG was probably another big moment for people, where she's like, oh, she's playable as well as Bowser. Like, it's like, oh, to just bring them all out.
Yeah, it's a cool choice as well because there's different forms of like femininity, and we've had like a lot of strong characters, which is great. But there's also like the pink dress really kind of vibe to her, which is also very very legit, and it's all great. And it's nice that you can still have that kind of regal feminine vibe while also still giving her the strength. Like in the recent movie, she's like probably more of a badass character than Mario is. Like she gets a lot more done, but she's doing it while wearing like the heels, while wearing a big dress. And it's cool how they can coexist in different ways.
Yeah, and then there was just something naturally fun about running all around Odyssey and after you beat the game and seeing all her different fits.
Yeah,
that was always cool. Yeah, she's just a mainstay. I think that's really what it comes down. You think female video game characters, for better or worse, Peach is gonna pop into your head.
For sure. It's impressive that she can do all of that in heels, to be honest. I don't know how she does it.
Very true. Kaylin, which female character do you want to talk about next?
Well, who I had next up was Jill, so we'll skip over that. Oh man, I feel like another like fighting game pick, obviously, because that's what I play a lot of. But my next pick is kind of again on the opposite spectrum of Peach being more of like a badass female character is Akira from Rival Schools. Oh, actually, funnily enough, she's not entirely like a badass character. So like she has her helmet on form, right? So she's got like her powered up form, and then she has a form where she has her helmet off. And when she has her helmet off, she has like maybe more of like a feminine energy, I would say. But like when she has the helmet on, she's like very much a badass, and you don't actually really find out that she's not a guy until like after you go through her playthrough or whatever. But yeah, I think just aesthetically, honestly, she's probably one of my favorite fighting game characters. And then she's also in Street Fighter V, which I really wish they would bring rival school characters back into like the Street Fighter universe again. That might be honestly asking for too much, but yeah, I just love the way she looks.
Maybe personally. Season 4.
I think we're going to be waiting a long time on that. Maybe way down the line. But yeah, I've cosplayed both versions of her, and I just whenever I'm in the outfit, I'm like, I have that visor on, and I'm like, no one knows who I am. So there's a sense of mystery there, kind of like the Samus type character almost.
Yeah. I've not had a chance to play Rival Schools or Project Justice, but Akira does stand out as a character just because of that dual personality suit of thing where she has to put on a certain persona in order to be like accepted into the biker gang.
Yeah. So. And she has a really good relationship as well with her brother and other people. She's not like just a lone wolf type character doing everything herself. She's got like a nice supporting cast with her. So I appreciate that as well.
Yeah. What about you, John?
Well, my next pick?
Yeah, your next pick.
Okay. So what number are we at now? We're
in the top 5.
Top 5. All right. I'll go with Kat from Gravity Rush.
I had a feeling she'd be here for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I don't know if the fans have got her here or not, but she's a wonderful character, like fantastic design, um, and kind of a blank slate. Like she has some character to her, but it's a game where like the language is gibberish, and the emotion they can get from just just rattling out some sort of like a weird fusion of French and Japanese is like still really expressive. And you just manage to get this wonderful tone and personality out of quite a small amount of actual presence, but it's still just a really, really great design and one that I think just stays in your mind.
She's a great reactive character because you don't, as you said,
Yeah,
you don't get a lot of personality from her on her own, but the way she acts around other characters, that's where she really starts to come out of her shell,
yeah,
and you get something special there. And then they just expand upon that further and further with Gravity Rush 2, where they do have a personality established, and they,
yeah.
her no longer has the missing memory, so they're able to do more with her.
Yeah, the Gravity Rush 2 after the initial credits, like that's when they really just dump all of Cat's story at you.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what kind of a character to expect from Kat from just looking at her designs and whatnot, because she always looked kind of serious during a lot of promo art, and then she's a goofball when you actually play.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, she is a goofball. But she's really strong and capable though. Like she can take on like all these demons and protect the city. But then when it comes to the grounded moments, she just wants to go around and like get like meat skewers from the market. Like that's kind of her vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I've never played Gravity Rush, so but I've seen her character design here and there. So I've always been like, oh, she's like a really cool design. She's got this long scarf and she's got like the
Yeah,
yellow and black look going on. To me, she almost like reminds me of someone who would be like at a Dark Stalkers game, just kind of like based on her
sure.
design.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know anything about her, but she looks very cool.
It's a great game. Beware if you have an issue with motion sickness, do not play it.
Oh, I
this will
definitely do.
yeah, then unfortunately this is a game you're just not going to be able to play because it goes all in on that. It's all kind of warpy, but Kat herself is a delight. So, yep. Now I'm starting to lose track. I think we got both of yours next set. So here, let's just continue on with our the audience picks for our number 5, beating out Peach by about 75 points. Okay. So at number 5 is Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. And
expected.
I knew she was up there.
It's one of those things where it should be expected, but our audience, no Tomb Raider game made a top 10 for the game for all the games. So I was like, I had no idea if Lara was actually going to make it into this one, but her legacy's still there, and they've been releasing a lot of her games lately. So keeping that in the public eye. So yeah.
Yeah, she is extremely iconic, especially the original saga, like the PlayStation up until like Angel of Dark, up until like Underworld, like the original classic Lara, the dual pistols, like the tank top outfit. It's all just so. It kind of like Lara Croft alongside like Crash Bandicoot and Cloud defined the PlayStation as a brand. Like you think of that console, I think you probably think of Lara Croft somewhere in there, and it's just it's a type of adventure game that we didn't really have before that, and Lara Croft would set the foundation for stuff like Uncharted and other games of that vibe. Just like being an explorer, going through these ancient societies, and then just having just a fantastic character alongside it. Like it really just changed a lot of stuff. I don't know if the Survivor trilogy is as iconic.
I don't know if it's as iconic, but I do enjoy the characterization of Lara in those games.
It's more grounded. They give her a hard time too. They stab her a lot in the Survivor.
Yeah, they really do.
They find creative ways to kill her.
So I actually have like no experience with the Tomb Raider series. I wanted. Well, I'll ask that afterwards. But my only one, I guess, thing, like how I kind of first got kind of introduced to the series is there's like a Conan O'Brien segment, and it's like a bunch of like people who have never looked at video games before their lives, just like, and Conan O'Brien, he's like playing Tomb Raider, and Laura gets like stabbed going down a waterfall on some sort of stick, and the whole audience is just like, oh my god, they're like so shocked because they've never seen anything like that before in a video game. But I want to ask, like, because I know there's so many like remakes and stuff like that with the series. Like, where's the best place to start? Because I've always been like, oh, I want to get into it, but I'm like, there's like so many different games I could.
It's actually a really hard question to answer.
Honestly, the one I'd recommend is probably one of the harder ones to get a hold of right now. I'd say like the Tomb Raider Legend to Underworld is probably the best like middle ground there, where you're getting classic Laura, but it plays a little better, because I always struggled with the original Tomb Raider games because they're so, I don't know, it just felt so punishing for death at the time. I never beat an old school Tomb Raider game because it just kept kicking my ass.
They are hard to get into, but you love Resident Evil, the classic Resident Evil, and I guess it's not far off that. Like, it's Lara's tank controls, behind the shoulder camera, but it's a platformer where you have to very much be accurate and precise with where you're moving. Like, you've got to stop sometimes and rotate Lara around like a tank. So it's tricky to get into, but it's really rewarding when you do. And I'd say they're my favorite ones. But Legend and Underworld are the best, like, modern feeling ones. Like, it plays a lot like Uncharted, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it goes Legend, Anniversary, then Underworld, because they do tie that remake into the overall plot of Legend and Underworld.
Got it. Yeah, funnily enough, I've played a bunch of the Uncharted games, but I don't know why I've just never gotten around to Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of great games in there, but it's an inconsistent series where, like, the Survivor games like Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider are very different in tone and gameplay to the originals. So you got one that sort of favors action and one that favors platforming and puzzle solving. So I definitely gravitate to classic Tomb Raider. But
I think as far as design wise, you definitely like, that's what you think of. Like, they just put out those promotional images of Sophie Turner for the new Tomb Raider that's coming out, and she looks like she is just nailing that original look. Like, that is Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's the iconic look.
So yeah, glad to see it on here. She's definitely out there, but she's also. You want to talk about a character made for the male gaze? Bam! Like, I think you can still get behind her as a woman, as far as like feeling empowered by it. But like, I remember all the nude codes supposedly being passed around for her.
Oh yeah,
and all the magazine articles they put out with her just topless and whatnot. So yeah, definitely one of the most sexualized characters of this of our top 10 so far.
I just remember it always being funny because I always see Lara Croft cosplayers like on the internet and stuff like that. And I always think it's really funny when they do like the whole like polygonal look, and they just kind of have her boobs going like just like a single polygonal shape. Yeah, basically.
The height of sexiness back in the PS1. John, what's another female character you gravitate toward?
So we're at number 4 now, right?
Yes, number 4. We've reached our top 4.
I will go with a robot. I'm going to go with GLaDOS from Portal.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Who, there's a human in there as well. Portal 2's got some developments in there, but the core personality is just great. Like, in Portal 1, there's no other character other than Chell, and GLaDOS is just the one kind of just bringing life to everything. Because that game, you're just going through test chambers the entire time, but there manages to be an overarching story that goes along with it, and the personality is just second to none. It's just this, sarcastic, deadbeat kind of humor. It's so good.
Portal 1 would be still fun, but far more dry without GLaDOS.
It would be very dry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's iconic for a reason. Funnily enough, I've only played Portal 1. I mean, I've heard that there's some more behind the door in Portal 2, but I haven't personally experienced that. But yeah, what I really liked about her is that she just conveys like you said, she's like a very kind of like dead tone to her voice, but she can like convey a lot of humor just simply through the way that she says certain things. So yeah, I think she's great. She's like the only driving force of that game, really, outside of like, you doing the gameplay element. So yeah, I think she definitely deserves to be up on there.
I was watching an interview with the actress for GLaDOS, and they were asking like why she sounds more like human in the sequel. And it's because when you burn the what was it, the humanity core, maybe I think something like that in Portal 1, her voice changes even in the first game. So in the last few moments she sounds more human because you've broken the core that keeps her like restrained as a robot. So that's why she starts to be a bit more down to earth and a bit more of a character in the second game.
Oh yeah, she gets to act more rather than just trying to kill you in the second game. And I really do enjoy Portal 2 and what they do for the characters in that. Like, my God. So.
For sure. And I know on the internet you just couldn't get away from like whatever the song and then the cake is a lie. Like it was just like everywhere. Even long before I played the game, it was just like everywhere, right? So to me, that's like another reason she definitely deserves to be on that list, because she was just so prevalent through the internet back in the day.
Yeah, very much so. What's another one of yours, Kaylin?
I'm gonna go with a Capcom character, Tron from the Mega Man Legends / Misadventures of Tron.
I was gonna say if you did not say her when I see the poster behind you, I was gonna have some words with you.
Oh yeah, right there.
She's waiting right there.
I had a bunch of names on a list, and then when you came on your camera, I saw Tron behind you. It's like just add Tron.
Tron is perfection. But you go ahead and say why you like her, and then we'll.
Yeah, I think she's just such a hilarious character because she has like this criminal aesthetic, right? She's like head of the Tron or the Bond crime family or what have you, but secretly she's just got such a good heart. She's such a goof. I mean, she robs banks, but she's also helping out a trainee cop at the end of the first game or whatever. And to me, she's just like, it's kind of like a tsundere character almost, where she like eventually like grows to like Mega Man a little bit, but then she's like, I don't like you, actually. I just think she's just such a fun character who is a great personality and also has genuine relationships with the rest of the Bond family members, like Teasel and Bon, right? Yeah, she's just a goof. I just like the goofs.
I love her voice actress a lot too, and it's something that I think's been lost a lot in the anime performances of like the post 2000s, because a lot of them go for this sort of kind of cutesy, kind of formulaic voice. And in the 90s with like Misty and Trombone, like you get this kind of lower register tone, and it's something that's very unique to like 90s anime and Mega Man Legends as well. It's just a really good delivery, like every line. Like she's phenomenal in that in these games.
And just the like kind of tsundere, as you said, but almost not really, because she almost doesn't recognize the feelings whatsoever. It's like she gets these feelings for Mega Man, but then she's like, what is this? I don't understand this. But like, you think she'd be like, she comes across somebody who just abuses the serve bots all the time, but she does care about them. It's like, wait, get ready for the torture device. But then you see how she is like interacts with them in her own game, and she's very supportive of them. They drive her nuts a few times, but there's still support and love there, which is a really fun dynamic. It's like you have this, crime boss who's robbing banks, but it's like you interact with somebody in the caves and be like, be sure to say thank you. Got to be nice. It's just it's such a weird dynamic for her, but also not afraid to get into the physical comedy. I will never forget blowing up some of her machines, and she just ragdolls away from the machine, all covered in smoke. It's beautiful. It's so funny.
For sure. Yeah. I love the fact that she's kind of like a mother figure to all the different serve bots. And, I know the serve bots aren't part of her character technically, but to me, obviously they're linked, right? And just like the different, like, because like in MVC2, right? Just like the physical comedy of like her supers, and she's like sending out all the serve bots. And then there's one of the frames is like Data the Monkey. It's just like, she's just such a charming character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone is so expressive in Mega Man Legends, but Trombone is the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for that to get its own collection because more people need to play Legends.
Uh-huh.
One can hope. One can hope.
One would hope, yeah. Okay. Let's get to the number 4 female character as voted by our audience, with quite a bit of a jump here over Lara Croft, beating her out by 308 points. At number 4, it's Rosalina from Mario,
who we've spoken about.
So hard to have that much more to say about Rosalina, other than how true to her character you think they're going to stick with the movie now, since it's coming out.
How much runtime will she even get is another question.
Yeah, exactly. A movie looks so stuffed that, like, what is she really going to get to do? I don't know.
Yeah. Brie Larson is fantastic casting, though.
Great choice.
Yeah, great choice. I think that she seems to be a lot more powerful in the movie. You never really see her use her magic to do much in the games, other than like reset the timeline and things. But then you see like that Mega Leg fight where she just spawns those shooting stars and just shoots its entire legs off, and then walks away from the explosion like action movie style. Yeah, I think they're going to give her a lot of like really big moments.
I hope they give her a lot of screen time. Like,
yeah, I hope so.
I think they have to realize, like, this is a super popular character. To just stiff her on scenes seems crazy.
It does seem crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, with like the first movie though, it felt so like just like go.
Next scene.
And Miyamoto saying that, you know, so much stuff is happening is like, that's not encouraging, Miyamoto.
Yeah, right. So
I think you say like you'll barely have time to breathe. Like, I need a bit of time to breathe, please.
I barely had time to breathe in the first movie. I was like, what are you doing here?
I know.
So we'll see what happens there, but I mean, we've already said a bunch about Rosalina, so yeah, hard to argue. All right, Caitlin, let's go back to you. What's your next character you want to talk about?
I don't even know what order I'm in anymore. But
as far as overall, you have 3 left, basically 3 left to highlight.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I only have 2 that haven't been talked about yet on this list.
True.
But another character, I don't even know. I don't think she's like super like top 3 on my list, but I just haven't talked about her yet. But
That's
from
fine
Guilty Gear.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's like she's kind of like one of the, I guess I would say, main antagonists of the Guilty Gear series. And to me, it's just like her design is really cool. She's like, yeah, she kind of has like that time witch kind of like aesthetic, and she has this one boss fight in Guilty Gear XX, I want to say, that's super creative, and basically it's like a shmup where she like telegraphs the path of like the different like projectiles that she's sending out, and you basically have to dodge around it because you can't really block in that fight all too much because you take so much chip damage that you can't really block. So you just have to like avoid her moves. And that was just like such a fun and memorable boss fight for me personally. So yeah, she's just got like the coolest design. She's just like probably out of fighting games, like definitely up there in my top 3 best designed female characters.
Oh, nice.
Great pick.
I've still yet to play a Guilty Gear, but as soon as her design started getting passed around, I saw the in magazines and whatnot for ads for Guilty Gear. I was like, what the? It's not just the witch design aesthetic. Giving her glasses for some reason in a fighting game feels so unique. So I have no idea what her personality is like, but I know she's just kind of a villain.
Yeah, she's got the guitar too. Like she's like a guitar for a lot of her attacks, which is like most of the time you see a mage and they're just like, they have a book or a spell book or like a wand or a staff or something like that. And no, for her, she's got her guitar and she's like flying around the screen. So yeah, she's just very cool for me personally.
What about you, John?
I'm also running out of characters, but I just peered at one of your posters, which your posters are giving me so much inspiration. We've not mentioned a Sonic character, and I feel like there's quite a few candidates in Sonic. The obvious ones, though, Amy. So I'm going to say Amy. There's more you can choose from. Like there's Cream, there's Rouge, but Amy's basically the biggest star out of all the women there, and she's going to get her own movie. With what's Anna's actress called?
I'm blanking on it.
Oh
but
no,
she's from the Good Place.
yeah. But yeah, she was great casting though. Damn it, I can't remember her name. Is it Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell, that's it.
Yeah.
Kristen Bell,
Yeah. But yes.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the evolution of the character go from just Sonic crazed fanboy, fangirl, to trying to give her a little bit more beyond that, bringing back the tarot card reading, that sort of thing. So
there's also Blaze in the chat, which is one of my favorite Sonic designs of them all. But I think Amy's just such a long-standing one, though.
For sure. I've only seen like the first 2 Sonic movies, so I haven't seen the third one, and I know they're teasing a bunch of people or whatever at the end of these movies. But yeah, I think Amy is a great female character. I guess my main experience with her is like with the Sonic Adventure games, and in that game she was definitely more of like a fangirl kind of type character, where she was like following Sonic around or whatever, into like there's like a playground in there in the first game. I want to say she like follows him in there or something like that. But yeah, I mean, she's like an iconic Sonic character. It's kind of hard to argue that she's not one of the main faces of that series. At least
I like her with the hammer a lot. In like recent games, like Jet was touching on this, like the fortune cards, they like this has always been a star. It's like, has it? There was like some lore in her bio in like Sonic CD that she does tarot cards and things, and they put that in like her cutscenes for Origins. They made her like a core moveset in Frontiers around that stuff. It's like I want to bring the hammer back.
yeah. Fair enough. All right, let's get to our number 3 for the audience. And number 3 only beat out Rosalina by 9 points.
Okay.
It was really close. At number 3, Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I knew it.
You knew the ultimate girl next door, and probably a lot of people's first crush. So, I mean, I'm one of them. Final Fantasy VII was my first RPG. Although, funny story for me though, for the longest time when I first played Final Fantasy VII, I thought Tifa was married to Barrett because she was taking care of Marlene. Sure. So they came back, but Barrett's daughter's like, okay, that's how it all is, and she's just sort of hanging out with Cloud. It wasn't like they happened to be childhood friends and all that stuff. And it wasn't until later on, it's like, oh no, they're not. Like when they got the Marlene backstory, it's like, oh, okay, never mind.
I will say with Tifa, I have a couple of thoughts. One thing is that like there's this discourse that was going around Twitter, which was like, put Tifa in Tekken. And I personally am just like, I mean, she's like a punchy, kicky, somersaulty type character. I don't really want her in Tekken. Like I would much rather have a character like Aerith in Tekken, who I think mechanically they'd have to be a lot more creative with her versus someone like Tifa. Actually, I have a modded version of Tekken 7, and there's a character named Josie, and so I like basically slap the Tifa skin on top of her because like the moveset just works so well with her. But yeah, with Tifa specifically, what I really like about her, and it's kind of hard for me personally to define her as a character without Cloud being involved in that equation. Whereas like with
the same thing.
Whereas with like Aerith, I feel like she's maybe a little, I mean, obviously she is defined by like her death and things like that, but I feel like she's a little bit more her own character, whereas Tifa's like obviously the very supportive childhood friend to Cloud. But I really like her, like when I've seen, especially in the remake, I really love her interactions with Cloud, where she's really able to like intuit how Cloud is feeling and just being that very like supportive person for him, who's kind of like basically, I don't want to say holding his hand, but like she's really helping him figure out himself throughout the series. But yeah, I mean, I do like her. I'm not, she's very sexy. Obviously, I understand like why people love her, but for me, I just prefer Aerith in terms of like everything.
When we were talking about Aerith earlier and like why she's ranked lower and Tifa's probably on the list, which she is now, I was thinking about like what exactly is it that I might prefer about Aerith, and I think you kind of nailed it there. Is that if you take Cloud away from Tifa, there isn't a whole lot there. Like she's a supportive character, and she uplifts everybody. But like when you look at like our core personality, I do think it is lacking compared to Aerith, who has a lot more of a base there.
Yeah, I am trying to think of that. Every time she shows up, it is definitely in that I must help Cloud kind of a way. She is that emotional support for him, which I think ties in a bit of wish fulfillment. It's like, yes, I would like to have this wonderful, this gorgeous woman that is very kind to care about me like that. Especially when, as a child, Cloud very much thought like, oh, she's too much. She's too good for me. That's which everybody always had that thought. So there's a lot of wish fulfillment going in around there. But I think her being so much fun to play, having a unique the fighting style. I don't know. Just is other than the job system games, is she our first female monk? Because technically she's the monk class.
Maybe. It's interesting too. You got a roster of characters with like giant swords, gun arms. And you just got this woman just punching everybody. And
yet she's one of the most fun to play as in 7 Remake and Rebirth.
Totally.
She is.
You got the roulette wheel. You got time as well.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, yeah. I mean, it's hard to rebut what you say, but there's still something very much lovable about Tifa. So.
I mean, she's everyone's childhood crush, waifu character. So I don't blame people.
I mean, I think I saw so many comments of when you meet up with Tifa to go in that, like, when she's asking like, what should I wear for the date? And she's just standing in front of you. A lot of guys would just be like, it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Do you think it's charming that she has like no sense of fashion? She does have some aspects to her personality that are like defined outside of Cloud, now that you're mentioning that. But it's, I feel like compared to Aerith still it's.
And I think that might be why people really like the pairing of Tifa and Aerith.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that out there, but also just the fact of them having those scenes together when they first meet in 7 Remake is really nice. Just hey, let's all hang out. We'll just make him carry the bags. It's like whatever, we'll do our own thing. So that did give her a little bit more beyond that. So we'll see. She also has, I mean, it makes no sense when you really think about the power set, but I do love the slap fight she has with Scarlet on top of the Mako cannon.
There's lots of great moments towards the end of the second disc. She basically becomes like the party leader for a while.
Yeah. So good stuff. But yeah, since we're getting a little low on time, let's get one more character from each of you, then we'll get over the top 2 and quickly run down the top 50. All
right. So we just want one more each, yeah?
Yep, one more each. So one more character from each of you.
Okay. I've got probably my top pick, but it's probably going to be the top pick of everyone else as well. So maybe I should choose a different one. I'll go with another pick, which is more of an honorable mention, really. But it is a great character. That's Ellie from The Last of Us.
Ah, yeah.
Who like in a desolate world where like everybody's kind of jaded and surviving, you've got this person that's just sort of grown up in it, is kind of numb to it, and is like a joy in the light. Yeah, and
it's a kind of our first example of like, rather than maybe some people see in her, but for a lot of players, this is a character you want to protect in a lot of ways, in a different way to Peach.
It flips in the sequel though, where she's gone through all of it, and now you don't want to protect her. Now she's the one protecting everybody else.
Yeah, I still need to play that, so I haven't seen that transformation, but I only associate with the first game. Yeah. But it is an interesting transformation to see how much of that innocence is lost between the two games.
I haven't played either of them. Funnily enough, I have a lot of friends who aren't even into like video games, and they're like, "You need to watch the show," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get to it." And it's always like, yes, this is going to be on my list, but there's inevitably something else that like comes up that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that over, The Last of Us. So
gotta watch One Piece.
New live action just released, right? Very recently. Yeah, season 2, I think.
Yeah. So I can't argue with that. She immediately felt like a standout right away, John.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Kaylin? What's the last character you want to put forward?
Yeah, we're just gonna continue the Final Fantasy train. Um,
That's fun.
I'd say my last pick is probably like Yuffie. Because like
Okay.
she's like a female Asian character, but I really like that she's very goofy, right? She kind of has this like cocky sort of like cocky arrogance to her, and I
Mm.
also just really like that she occupies this. I mean, I know obviously Aerith and Tifa get like all of the limelight in seven, but I really like that she kind of occupies a space outside of like being a love interest character, where she's much more of like a little sister. But especially like in the remake, where I feel like that really carries her personality more, where she's like has that like whole scene with her like in the outfit, and then she like takes off the cape or whatever, and she has like her whole intro that's like the petals falling out everywhere. Um, and I think that yeah, I don't know, in the original game she was optional to get, but I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of players would not consider her to be an optional party member because she is like a defining member of the cast.
Right.
And yeah, I just think if she was a real person, honestly, she might drive me a little bit insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
It's so interesting how they achieved that though, because like you can never encounter Yuffie in the original, and you get a full story there. But if you do encounter her, you basically just get a whole other chunk of the game in there. Like her dialogue is incorporated into like everything, and you've got that whole arc.
they gave her a whole character trait of her being seasick.
Yeah, it's just something that you can like never encounter. Like it's quite a low chance of encountering her in those woods, but you can. I think I just stumbled upon her from chance, and then she ran away, and you just like, wait, come back. Like, you just want to work out what it is that you get to keep her there. It's one of the coolest like optional party members in anything.
Yeah, I mean, I had a guide with me because again, first RPG, so my friend also gave me a guide so I could sort of figure things out. And yeah, I followed that in order to get her, but it was like, really, you can completely miss this character, and how would you find this character on your own? That's so odd in that way. But yeah, what they've done with her with the remake is quite good. I like how she looks up to them because they do go more extreme than the segment of Avalanche she works with in Intergrade. So her interactions with Barrett tend to be really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, she brings a nice peppiness to things.
Yeah. I love the interaction with her in remake specifically, where in this game obviously she's not optional, but like when she's like joining the party, right? And as like Cloud, you can be like, no, sorry, I don't want you, like move along. And then she's like, wait, no, please, I want to be part of the party. Let me be part of the party. And I don't know. There's something about her that is just so charming as a character, and adds like a really refreshing vibe to the entire cast of Final Fantasy VII. So yeah, I just think Asian girl, short hair, huge ass shuriken, just big fan of the design.
I mean, you've cosplayed her, so
I have.
There's a great point in live audience that's saying like Vincent wasn't that interesting in the original, and I think they're right. Like Vincent was cool design, but I think you can skip Vincent. I'd give you a side eye to skip
some stuff for the Turks, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So yep. All right, let's get to our top 2 female characters according to our audience. Lock things out before we have to quickly run down all the top 50. So apologies for that, just because of limited time. At number 2, beating out Tifa by 1,400 points. Zelda from The Legend of Zelda.
What Zelda are we talking about?
I said if I said individual Zeldas, I almost guarantee our top 10 would be filled with nothing but Zelda. So I just said all versions of Zelda out there, and I mean that's yeah. Take your pick. There's a lot of great Zelda's versions out there. Do you want your stoic ones? You get Twilight Princess. You want your childhood friend? Go Skyward Sword. You want the nerdy one? Go Breath of the Wild. You want just a cute one? Go with Link to the Past.
Yeah, the Breath of the Wild Zelda struggles a lot. Like she was holding back Ganon in a fight for 100 years. And then in the sequel, she gets sent back in time again, and then has to like sacrifice herself. There's a lot of that Zelda goes through a lot of struggle.
For sure. I think my favorite is Breath of the Wild and also Wind Waker. I love
Wind Waker's
Tetra.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, Tetra's a lot of fun. I still need to play through it myself, but having a sassy Zelda for Spirit Tracks, just a little bit I did in that played of that. It was also a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of great Zeldas.
Yeah, I think that's the fun thing about Zelda is that you can get so many different flavors of ostensibly the same character, even though they're really different.
Right, you can get Sheik too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not technically Zelda.
100%.
So, yeah, I think that's what makes her stand out. So, yeah. Zelda at number 2. But number 1 beat out Zelda.
Obvious one.
By 1,700 points.
Yeah.
Number 1, Samus.
Yeah, of course it's Samus.
Yeah.
This was my number 1. I didn't want to put it there because we're going to discuss it now.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, she is the female video game character. I think that's really what it comes down to.
I think for me, she occupies like a very similar space to almost like a Master Chief type character where she's just like a cool character doing really cool badass things.
I think also the fact that she can be anybody. Like you get her full Samus like no suit costume revealed a bunch, but behind that visor, like it doesn't matter who she is, which is the same with Master Chief. And the fact she doesn't talk much as well, other than other M, just sort of gives you that like self-insert. This is just a badass person. To the point where people didn't know she was a woman in the original game. It wasn't until you finish it and you get that, that mask off reveal that you figure out that it's a woman in a bikini. But as the game goes on, like as the series goes on, of course people know she's a woman already, but still getting that suit off is still like that look of the person underneath is always still a reward. Not to get like the full body reveal, but just to be able to see who it is you've been playing as the entire time never gets old.
Yeah, see what state she's in, or playing with that vulnerability in Zero Mission, for as an example.
That's right. Yeah, that's the part where like she's not wearing the armor, right? And you have to like crawl through the. Yeah, that was very cool.
And like Metroid Dread just does so much for Samus.
Oh yeah.
I still hear that scream at the end of the game. Like it's one of the best screams in a video game. It's so well done. The whole arc as well. There's a part in Metroid Dread where Samus does speak, and it's really good. People complain about Samus speaking. This is how you do Samus speaking.
It really shows that they should have had her speak in Prime 4 because it makes it so awkward that she does not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the way she is getting more powerful. She is a petri dish of DNA in that body at this point. There's so much that she's gone through.
She's gone through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's kind of like, she kind of almost fits all roles because of that being behind the armor. What do you imagine her as? This.
Mercury's Steam with Samus Returns and Dread, they understood the body language of Samus. It's a character that doesn't convey much, but just gives you this energy with how she moves. There's a part in Dread, like with one of the first bosses, where you just see the way she's standing is so powerful. And that part with Kraid, where he's like roaring into her face and she just lifts her arm cannon and charges and shoots at him. It's so good. And Metroid Prime 4 came nowhere near that.
No,
in
didn't match
and body
any
language.
of that, unfortunately.
No. Yeah.
Just I'll always remember that little dodging that spike coming out, just
So
nothing, just no selling it completely.
Yeah. That's how Sam should always be. Yeah.
I'm guessing you've not played Dread, Kaylin.
I've played Zero Mission, Super Metroid, and Prime 1.
Okay.
So not too many.
Some good ones.
Yeah.
Dread can be tricky, but I'd still recommend it. It's a good time.
No, for sure. Like I struggle. I mean, I play some platformers. Well, I mean, I guess those ones are not. They're Metroidvanias, but like, I do struggle a lot with the gameplay of that series for whatever reason sometimes. But it's definitely one that I know I need to play more games and get into it more.
Yeah, it's a tough final boss fight. It stands out as in that game anyway. But yeah, Can't go too much further. I apologize for that, but I feel like we got a nice discussion about a lot of these characters in here. How are you guys feeling about our top 10? I know it's kind of mixed in with your own choices, but so just as a reminder, from 10 to 1, Chun-Li, Aerith, Madeline, Bayonetta, Peach, Lara Croft, Rosalina, Tifa, Zelda, Samus. About what I expect from our audience.
Yeah, I think it's fairly good.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get Vivian from Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door in there.
Well, that's
sure
why
she's
we got to
in the
read.
top 50 somewhere.
That's why we got to read out the top 50. So very quickly, we have at 11, Daisy from Mario. At number 12, Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. At 13, Midna from Zelda. At 14, Mio from Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh, yeah. Great choice.
Very good one. At 15, Hornet from Hollow Knight. At 16, Vivian from Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door.
There she is.
There she is. 17, Nia from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. 18, Susie from Deltarune. Very interesting choice there because she is so masculine coded. Very, very interesting storyline there. 19, Cynthia from Pokemon. Everybody's favorite champion.
I was wondering if any actual Pokemon would make this list, because I think you can argue some are more feminine than others. But we'll
some
see.
people did put Pokemon, but not enough to make it into this.
Fair enough.
Top 50 anyway. At 20, GLaDOS.
Yeah.
At 21, Maya Fey from Phoenix Wright.
Oh, okay.
22, Lucina from Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
23, our highest ranked Sonic character, Blaze the Cat.
Oh, Blaze.
Blaze beat out Amy. At 24, a really good showing for this series, Estelle Bright from Trails in the Sky. People really love her. 25, Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. 26, Ellie from The Last of Us. 27, Melia from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. 28, Palutena from Kid Icarus.
Oh, I'd put her a lot higher, actually. I didn't consider Palutena.
Interesting.
Yeah. 29, Yuna from Final Fantasy X.
It's a good one.
At 30, Shantae from Shantae. 31, 2B from Nier Automata. 32, Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. At 33, Dixie Kong from Donkey Kong. 34, Birdo from Mario. 35, Pauline from Mario. 36, Amy Rose from Sonic. 37, Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses. 38,
isn't it?
A little bit, but I mean, a lot of basically a good chunk of these is like maybe 20 to 5 points difference. Like it is extremely close. 38, Amaterasu from Okami. 39, Terra from Final Fantasy VI. Tied at 40 is Claire Redfield from Resident Evil and Makoto Nijima from Persona 5. 42, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. 43, Kat from Gravity Rush. 44, Uni from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. 45, Aqua from Kingdom Hearts. 46, Mael from Clair Obscur. 47, Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie. 48, Lyn from Fire Emblem The Blazing Blade. 49, Aegis from Persona 3. And at 50, Isabelle from Animal Crossing. And in case you're wondering, Miss Pac-Man is at number 51.
Barely made the cut.
Barely made the cut. So,
I would have liked to see a little bit more Dragon Quest. We've got great choices.
Dragon Quest
Bianca.
did not make any of the choices that I have on here. I will say Grace did make
Ashcroft.
the top 60, just behind Ada Wong of all things. So people really like Grace.
Yeah.
So Bridget also made the top 60 from Guilty Gear.
I was expecting them somewhere in the
Very
top
popular
50.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other great choice, Clementine from Walking Dead. So, yeah. So there is Ada still beat Grace. She lost by 4 points to Ada. But that still says something that Ada's been on far more games.
Yeah, Grace was very good. The performance was like spectacular.
It was great.
I'm
Like
looking forward to
genuinely, like I feel like for a long time, like I feel almost like it really harkens back to the survival horror roots of the series.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just out of a fun bit of here for the fans of this series for Splatoon, Marina, top female character from that at 52. And then after them were Callie and Marie. Callie beating out Marie by 1 point.
It's hard to argue about Marina, though. She's definitely the highlight of Splatoon.
Oh, yeah. Marina's definitely the fan favorite.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I said, I'll have the list so you can go through and look for yourself where everybody ended up. But those are definitely our definitive top 50. Nothing's going to really change from down below. So, yeah. That is it. There's our top 50 female characters. And thank you, Kaylin, for joining us for this. Really do appreciate it. Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Oh, yeah. Thanks again so much for having me. I am on YouTube at Baberuthless, and I talk about fighting games, but my most recent video is actually on Resident Evil Mercenaries mode. So a little bit of everything in there. Yes. I'm really hoping for RE9 Mercenaries mode to come in real soon.
We need it. With how good Leon's mechanics are, we definitely need Mercenaries in there.
For sure. The gameplay mechanics of this game are great. Make
Grace playable in that mode, so that way she can actually kick ass.
Just give her like a handgun, like Leon's got a whole arsenal of weapons. We also need
rocket launcher.
Xeno's got to be in Mercenaries because he's very underutilized in the story. Like we need like a proper spotlight on him.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Definitely check out Baberuthless, and thanks to all of you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button, and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming with plenty of extra perks. So until next time, bye.